G'day everybody. This is just going to be a quick tutorial on conveyors and containers and stuff, and what I have learnt about them over the last many hours of trial and error to put it all together. This is my survival world base, so we're in survival, so everything that I'm about to show you is going to work in survival. But basically, after many hours of trial and error, what I have established about these conveyors and using 3D printers and storage and stuff is the order in which you create these containers, or the large containers, is what affects where an object is going to go to. So if we look at this one first, this is the second one that I produced. This is the first one that I produced, and over here was the last one that I produced. Now, it's only on this loop that I'm talking about. Forget the fact that there's other containers and things above me. This is a standalone loop. So you can see very clearly, this is the closest one, this one is the furthest away, and this one is a middle distance but is attached to the other side, or sorry, to the side, not the front. Now in my first testings, what I was finding was I could get it so that I could put stuff in through the front and have it come out through the side. But when I deleted some of these small containers and changed them and put them back, it totally screwed everything up. And that was when I started to realise that it actually is based on the container number that you have created. So let me just reiterate again. This is the first one that I have created. Even though it is the furthest distance away, if I create something in here, and the other thing you'll notice is I've got all of the storage in the printer filled with dirty water. Now I use that just because A, it's easy to get. I've got a pump running out the back into a large container, so I've got truckloads of it. But it's something that's not very often, or isn't in fact used at all in any of the recipes within here. So it will never be taken out. So that will just completely keep that full, which means if it's got to get material or raw materials, it's got to go somewhere to get them. So I have the raw materials set up here in the third container, and when it's made something, it has to push it out straight away. There's nowhere for it to store it inside, it's got to push it out. So let's just craft just a frame, and we will see where it goes. Okay, so that's now been made and pushed out. So if we look in here, it's not here. If we look in this first one, here it is here. Now, even though that is a lot further away than these two, that is the one that it has put it in, because it was the first container attached to this loop that I made. Okay, so it hasn't gone to here, which is the closest one. It's gone to the first container that I made, this one back here. Now I cannot tell you how many hours it's taken me to sort that out, because each time you break something down and redo it, you have to think about, well, now I know I have to think about which order in which I put these containers together. So I can set this up to mass produce, and it will take all of the coal and iron that it needs from here. It will make the stuff, and then it will push them into that container every single time until that container is full. And when that is full, it will then go to this one, because this was the second container that I manufactured. I hope that makes sense. But if you bear in mind the order in which you make your containers, you can determine to a pretty good extent where it's going to go. Now I have a line of printers over here which I have connected via these orange conveyors, and by these red, the pinky colour, actually not the red, the pinky colour and the black conveyors connect upstairs, and in here I've just been producing Mark 1 plating, so you can see that's got totally full of Mark 1 plating. This one I've been manufacturing mechanical parts, and all you do is you just select whatever it is that you want, click on this one, and it makes it 99. Now you can see here it's got 2,997 pieces of iron that it's connected to, and 999 items of coal that it is connected to. Sorry, rephrase that. It needs 999 pieces of carbon to create the 900, and it needs 2,997. So if we go back to 1, you see it's a 3 to 1. So if we realise that goes out the back there through that conveyor adapter wall. Out here I have a carbon mine and an iron mine, and all that does is just fills up 2 large containers upstairs. So they're the only things that is connected to, and it's the only products that can go into that container. So here's the iron coming in here to this pinky coloured container, and if we open it up, there's all the iron coming in from the mine directly out the front. Carbon is coming into this black one here, and that's, well, 120 out of 120. That's totally full of carbon. And then I have silver, I have aluminium. Then upstairs, these two are my, what I was trying to get to be just my component storage container, so that the final products would go into that. But yeah, that's still proving to be a tad tricky, and I missed that entirely. Up here I have my xanite, uranium, titanium, cobalt and silicon. So they're all colour coded, and the pipes that come out of them are also colour coded, so that I can tell what I'm running. The problem becomes when you have to go into a place like this where I need carbon and iron to go into these printers in here. So I've got carbon coming in from here, I've got iron coming in from, I've got carbon coming in from here, I've got iron coming in from here down into there. Now what the problem with that is, it opens up those 2 containers as storage containers for those printers. And because of the way that I had made this originally, they were created first. So whenever I was making stuff, they were disappearing back into the iron container or the carbon container. But by putting everything together first, then putting the carbon container and the iron container as the last things that I create, I can actually control where the products end up going to. So they come along this orange one upstairs and into the 2 big massive storage containers I have upstairs. So forget about how far it is, forget about how close it is. The only thing that matters is when you create that container. And as I say, the first one, which in this case was the yellow one, the first container that you create will be the one that actually gets the output. Doesn't seem to matter where the input is, whether it's close, whether it's far away. It will drag from wherever it can drag into the 3D printer to actually make the product that it needs. But when it's pushing it out, it will always go to the first container that you have created. Now, to simply prove that for you, what I will do is take that, delete that one. This one can stay where it is because that's the second one. So if I now create another one back here, this is now the latest one that I have created. So what I do is I go in here and I put in here and rename it as, let's say, last, if I could spell. So that's now the last container. This will be the third container. So this is the second container I made. So if we go here and create one of those, it will come into here. And there it is. So just keep that in mind when you're laying everything out. I'm sure as time goes by and the devs get further down the track as far as the intricacies of the game are concerned, that you will be able to specify where stuff goes, or they will put a piece of code in that says, oh, this container's already got X in it and I've just made X, so I'll put it over there. There'll be some such way of doing that. So you will be able to push and pull from the 3D printers. I'm certain of that. But in the meantime, you need to put a lot more thought into where stuff is coming from and where you want it to go, because where you want it to go has to be the first things that you make. So yeah, I hope that all makes sense. What I'm going to do now is just very quickly duck out to my creative world, and I'm just going to show you one other thing that I've been working on. Now, I got the idea for this from a guy called BCP Labs, and he's done a lot of work in Planet Nomads, basically from what I can gather, since it originally came out. And the work that he's done is just phenomenal. He's an absolute genius at getting huge things built that do some pretty amazing things. So if you want to go and have a look at his work, I think it's well worth it. Now, what I've done here is just a switch. What it is for is, if I have let's just say we've got a container here that we want to connect to. Oops, don't need that. Need a 3. And I'm hoping I've put this close enough. I may not have actually. Let's put another one on there. And then a conveyor connector. And there. Yeah, we might be right. So let's just say that this one is going off to our storage containers. Right. And this one is coming from, oh, I don't know, maybe a vehicle that you've got parked in a bay, that you've been off and collected all of your raw materials with, and you want to bring them back in and have it pick up your stuff. So if we turn this on, the hover pad, yeah, it is too high. The hover pad attached here pushes it up. So let's just, sorry about that, very quickly, have I got a long piece there? Let's use one of those. 8. Let's put that in line for a start. 2. Probably should have had all of this organised before you guys got here, but not necessarily going to be doing it. And then 3, 2. And we'll put that there, and then we'll have our connector there. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So as you can see there, that's now connected. You've got green on both sides. So we turn this off. It flops back down and disconnects. So nothing's going to go through that. So potentially what you could do is you could have another one down here connected to maybe a different container that 3. One more. No, don't need to go there at all. Yes, we do. Oh, come on. Put this in exactly the wrong spot, obviously. Yeah. Let's move it forward one. You get the idea anyway. So you could have that. So that's going to be too close. Right? Let's try this a different way. Put it out here. Alright, so that's sitting out there. When it's off, that's connected now. So the problem you've got is this isn't. So forget all of that. You can only have one with this one. If you want two different switches, so that's just a straight on-off, connected to this one or not connected to anything. If you want to have 2 or 3 different connections, so here we've got a printer over here coming and collecting stuff from the top, and we have 2 different inputs, so the blue and the green. By running a series of fans, the hover motors and stuff through a series of switches, let me just holster that. If we turn this off, we turn this on, that's now set to the blue. So this will take goods from the blue. Come on. Don't worry about the fact that that's not connected, because it would be if that was connected to something. Why are you not connected? You've always connected in the past. Oh, just move that forward one. That will take from this storage area up to and through into the printer. And then if you need, you know, something else, or you want to make a different product that you've got the goods stored in a different container, turn that off, turn that one on, and that'll switch around to the green. And see, that's connected. That's really bizarre. That will now take it through from this container here. It's a way that you can bypass the item number, sorry, the container number, the order in which you've done them. You can physically say, this is the one that I want you to use, or that's the one that I want you to use. I'll let you have a look in here and see how this is done. These 2 hover pads are actually pushing in reverse. So this one is pushing that way, this one is pushing that way. Don't worry about that one. And this one over here is what turns it back to the blue one. So it just blows it, and then this one holds it up against there. I added this one later because what I found was this central piece here was actually just slowly rotating back and would actually break the connection. And then I've just got a couple of blocks in here to hold it into position. So when it swings around to, come on, back a bit, the green, it hits this block and that holds it in position there. And when I switch it back to the blue, this block here stops and then holds it in position, and the hover pad holds it in position over there. And then you just bring the one up from the top over right into there. Oh, that's connected now. I don't know why that wasn't connecting earlier. That's a bit strange. But you see there that that's connected all the way through. Alright, so there you go. As I said, quick tutorial about how the hell the container system worked, and forget about the fact that I know there's videos out there that say it'll go to the shortest, or it'll go to this, or it'll go to that. It will go to the one that you created first, to the container that you created first. So thanks for watching. I hope that's been of some help to you. If it has, I'd appreciate a hit on the like button. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe. And I also recommend you hit the notification button, because I don't do videos all the time. So if you want to know when I've just put a new one out, that notification button will then let you know that I've put a new one up. Alright, have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. See ya.